Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Calvin Tobin Show. I am your host, Calvin Tobin. Today we have a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. All right, Monday Night Football is in the books, and this game was most likely, because of how windy it was, the windiest game in NFL history, because the average winds were 25 to 30 miles an hour, and with gust winds it got up to maybe as high potentially as 55 miles an hour. This wind was absolutely nuts, and it controlled and bit the Bills' passing game, because even throwing it 30 times, Josh Allen only completed half of those passes. But with this type of game, it should have been like a complete rushing game like the Patriots did, and while Mac Jones only threw it 3 times, and they rushed it like 48 times. And that's what really helped the Patriots win this game, because you can only do so much on throwing the football with winds up to potentially 50 miles an hour. You throw it one way, it's going the other way because of the wind. Now, with the Buffalo Bills, they are starting to show more and more that they are not a true playoff team, because ever since the Jaguars game, they have been going back and forth with wins and losses. After losing to the Jaguars 9-6, whooping the Jets 45-17, and then getting whooped by the Colts 41-15, then destroying the Saints 31-6, and now lost to a playoff team, the Patriots 14-10. Now, with the Patriots, with Bill Belichick drafting Mac Jones, and with Mac Jones' absolute dominance in his rookie year, this is showing that Bill Belichick was getting a lot of disrespect from last year, and is showing that he did not lose a step, and he just needed the right quarterback, and that was Mac Jones. Because Mac Jones has been dominant all year, leading the Patriots to the top of the AFC at being 9-4. Now we're going to see, because towards the end of the season, we're getting closer, about 4 to 5 games left, depending on which team it is. Because because we're getting down to the wire, now we're really going to see who truly are the best teams. And the Patriots might be it, and might be back in it of being a dominant team with Mac Jones. But with the Bills, they are definitely not a true playoff team, because Josh Allen and this Buffalo Bills offense is not showing that grit and uniqueness that they had last year when they got all the way to the AFC Championship. Maybe they can come out strong and finish strong in the season, but until that happens, the Bills might just maybe be a first round exit in the playoffs, if they get to the playoffs, because now they are second in the AFC East behind the Patriots. Now, here is the most interesting thing in football right now, in NFL at least, is, are the Bucs going to release Antonio Brown? He got suspended for 3 games for having a vaccination card, which is a little too little, because he should have gotten a way higher punishment for for showing a fake vaccine card. That is a federal offense. All you had to do was say, no, you're not vaccinated, or just get the shot. You are screwing yourself more and more with the ridiculous stuff you have pulled over the last 2 to 3 seasons. You need to get yourself together and put yourself back in the shoes like you were when you were at Pittsburgh, and looking like one of the best receivers to ever play this game. Ever since he left Pittsburgh, he's been a complete wreck, and the Bucs are now considering about cutting Antonio Brown. For me, I would, because of the vaccination card, and because he continues to show his immaturity and he just can't show that he is a model citizen. In my opinion, they should cut him and move on, even though Tom Brady vouched for him and got him on the team and made the entire Bucs offense look like it cannot be stopped. Well, without Antonio Brown, they will be just fine because they got Gronk, they got Mike Evans, they got Chris Godwin, and they got Cameron Brate, they got Leonard Fournette, they got a lot of other star power. They don't need AB. He's just an add-on to a superstar offense that can handle themselves without him. Now, for college football, Mario Cristobal is now the new head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. He was a fantastic coach for the Oregon Ducks, got them as high ranked as number 3, and that was their best record or best rank out of the entire 5 years he was with Oregon. And because of him leaving Oregon, Kayvon Thibodeau is now actually foregoing his senior season to prepare for the NFL. Kayvon is expected to be picked, or is predicted to be drafted in the top 5, and we will see where he lands when the time comes. But with Mario Cristobal, I do think that the way he was able to coach and make Oregon look like a fantastic team and a top 25 team up to a top 5 team for 5 straight years, I do believe he can actually turn Miami around and maybe get themselves back to who they were about 15-20 years ago. But obviously it's not going to be better than that 2001 offense, one of the greatest college football teams of all time. But I do believe Mario Cristobal has a great chance to put Miami back in the talk of being a very great and relevant team and a team to beat when the time comes. All right, so has anybody been watching Curry? Because I know I have. And Curry is so close to breaking the 3-point record, and I can't wait for him to break it. And he has 16 threes left to go to break it. He is at 2,958 right now. He needs 16 threes to break it, which will be 2,974, and the record is 2,973, and that has been held by Ray Allen for quite some time, and now this record belongs to Steph Curry. With being 16 threes left and the way he's been going off with making threes over the past 3 to 5 games, he's averaging just under 5 threes a game, and it's absolutely insane because he's actually on a better pace to break his own personal record of 402 threes that he set back in the 2015-2016 season. And right now, he's on pace for about 435 made threes. Curry is ridiculous. Now, I do believe Curry can break it within the next 3 to 4 games, not 2 to 3 games, because he would have to make between 6 and 8 threes a game to break it. But even though it's Curry, I have full confidence he can do it, but it is very hard to get 7, 8 threes a game, even being the greatest shooter ever in NBA history. The next 4 games that the Warriors are playing is going to be Portland, the 76ers, Indiana, then New York. I say that he's going to break the record in the Indiana Pacers game, and that's when all hell will break loose and everyone's going to go ecstatic for him finally breaking the record. He could have broken it last year, but unfortunately he was out the entire season, or about 95% of the season, due to a torn ACL. And now it's going to be this year. Now it's only a matter of time, and which game is he going to do it? Alright, now Embiid looked like a total dominant center and looked like the best center in the game last night after he dished out 7 dimes, got 15 boards, and got 43 points in that game. Also, Joel Embiid scored every single point in overtime except for 1 point, but that helped them seal the victory. Now Embiid, I'm hoping him and Ben Simmons can work their struggles out, because I do believe that if Ben Simmons can get his act together, even on mental stability, because we all know, some people may not realize it, but mental stability is one of the toughest things to deal with in any case and anywhere. Now, I do hope, like I said, I do hope that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid can work their issues out, because Ben Simmons is an absolute fantastic defensive player. He just needs to work on his shooting and be more violent and aggressive when it comes to making shots and not be so afraid. Because Philadelphia is a way better team with Ben Simmons. He just needs to fix himself right now. All right, now the best team in college basketball. Who is it? It is the Purdue Boilermakers. These guys are unbelievably dominant, and they are now ranked #1 for the first time in their school history. And based on what they've done so far this season, it is definitely totally deserving, knocking off a couple ranked opponents, along with scoring 90.5 points per game. Purdue is absolutely ridiculous, and have multiple players right now that are actually and could potentially win Player of the Year. Because they got Jaden Ivey, who can stop and shoot from three like a madman. You got Sasha Stefanovic, who can shoot from anywhere on the court, making any bucket he decides to make. And you got Zach Edey, who's a 7'4" monster of a beast, who is dominating the paint and just scoring with rampage all over his opponents all season long. Like, I just cannot wait until we get to March Madness, even though it's the very beginning of the season, because Purdue is the team to beat. All right, that's the end of the Calvin Tobin Show. Please subscribe to my channel at The Calvin Tobin Show so you don't miss out on any sports media. And please follow me on Instagram at Calvin Tobin Show so you don't miss out on any sports news whatsoever. And I'm out.